We're time traveling at Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida. It was right here on this Florida shoreline, through persistence and a lot of courage, where NASA sent the first Americans into space. The extraordinary achievements of man and machine are on full display here for, well, just about anyone who makes the trip. But we're getting an exclusive front row seat to the greatest show on Earth, when the U.S. and the Soviet Union battled for supremacy in space.
We're like standing in history.
This is the incredibly massive building where they assembled all of the rockets for the manned space program. I'm Brian Unger, and I'm taking 4 Floridians on a journey through time and space. Let the countdown begin.
1, liftoff!
I'm meeting my guests at the visitor's entrance to Kennedy Space Center. The sheer size of this place is dwarfed only by the power of the human mind that imagined that riding a rocket into space wasn't just possible, it was doable. Good morning. Thank you for getting out of bed so early to join us here. I am so happy to see all of you.
The history of memories for space program for me are pretty much everything I saw on TV as a kid.
You just passed over Japan a little while ago.
One of my memories of the history of the space program would have to be when I was probably in 4th grade, watching the Challenger explode. It's probably burned into my memory.
So this is where America's manned space program was born. And our time-traveling mission together, we're going back to the early 60s to the early 70s, the most critical decade in America's manned space program.
We can't know where we're going in the future without studying history, so that makes me excited to learn about the space program.
This is where programs with names like Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo won the space race against the Soviets, and where astronauts with names like Shepard, Glenn, and Armstrong became a rare combination of American hero and celebrity. You've heard of these guys?
Yes, absolutely.
Sure. Their legacies were written at this place.
Apollo, I think, is probably my favorite stories of the program, and I think it's going to be awesome to go on a behind-the-scenes tour and get to see stuff that no one else is allowed to see.
Why is Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida? Why Florida?
Because
Any
it's
ideas?
a peninsula. I think it would make it easier just to launch right over there.
Okay.
I think I'd have to say that it's the weather, maybe.
Uh-huh.
I think Florida gets more clear skies to do better launches, I would think.
Travis, the weather here for the past few days has been pretty cloudy.
Well, I mean, you know.
And it's kind of cold out. I'm not going to lie.
During the times when they do launches, it's generally, you know, clear skies, which is like 75% of the year.
Okay, so water, clear blue skies. What do you
Closer to
think?
the equator,
I like where you're headed with this, Chris. What do you think?
if that helps with getting into space.